It starts with the wind. Hot, dry, and humming with promise as it snakes through the low grass of a long-forgotten ranch tucked just outside a wealthy Arizona suburb. The kind of place you wouldn't look at twice. Peeling paint on the barn doors, fences bowed from time, and dust swirling over everything like a forgotten memory. But to me it's freedom. I'm Marcus Reed. 42. Former mechanical engineer, tired of cubicles, tired of code, tired of the quiet racism that trails you like a shadow in corporate America. Too polite to name, too vicious to ignore. So I cashed out. Every cent, took my severance, my savings, my pension, and bought this rundown ranch off a foreclosure list. $750,000. All in. I wanted silence. Space. To raise chickens, maybe horses. Fix up the barn with my own hands. Build something that was mine, not rented. Dignity from a system that never wanted me in the first place. The first few weeks are heaven. I wake to coyotes yipping in the distance, the smell of mesquite in the air. I patch fences, rip out dead shrubs, and sleep with the stars visible through my cracked ceiling. Every day I reclaim a piece of the land. Every day it feels a little more like home. But then the letters start. Plain white envelopes slipped through the gate. Welcome to Canyon Ridge Estates. As a resident, your HOA dues are overdue. I laugh at first. There's no HOA out here. This property is zoned agricultural, not residential. I checked. Triple-checked. There's not a sidewalk for 10 miles. No streetlights, no clubhouses, no manicured lawns. Just rattlesnakes, old fences, and the whisper of land reclaiming itself. Still, I call the number on the letter. A clipped voice answers. Canyon Ridge HOA. How may I assist you? I think there's been a mistake, I say, still polite. This property isn't part of any HOA. Pause. Then sharper. All residents within the Canyon Ridge zoning overlay are subject to our bylaws. Failure to comply will result in fines. She hangs up before I can ask what an overlay even is. That night I stand under the stars, staring down at the letter again. I've only been here 6 weeks. How could someone already be claiming ownership over what I bought, what I bled for? It's nothing, I tell myself. Bureaucratic confusion. Typo. But the edges of my piece have started to fray. 2 mornings later I find a notice tacked to my gate in bold red ink. Final warning. Property inspection scheduled. My gut tightens. I've heard stories. Black families in white neighborhoods. Code violations invented out of thin air. HOAs used like leashes. I moved out here to escape all that. But as I watch a white Tesla crawl slowly down the dirt road and pause at the edge of my land, engine purring like a predator, I feel it. The land may be wild. But the threat? The threat is very human. And it's just beginning. The knock comes at 6:42 a.m. Repetitive. Dialed. I'm mid-sip of my coffee, watching sunbeams stretch across the pasture when I hear it. 3 quick raps on the front door like the person on the other side owns the damn house. I open the door slowly, mug still in hand. A woman stands on my porch in a lemon-yellow blazer and matching heels, completely unsuited for the dirt road behind her. Blonde bob, overdrawn lips, clipboard pressed against her chest like a badge of honor. Mr. Reed, she says, already assuming. You've ignored multiple notices. I'm Carol Whitmore, president of the Canyon Ridge HOA. I don't shake her hand. This property isn't under your jurisdiction, I say flatly. She offers a tight smile. The kind that doesn't reach her eyes. It's listed within the community overlay. You're benefiting from shared roads and security, which means you're subject to community standards. I glance over her shoulder. There's no paved road for a mile. No cameras. No gates. What shared roads? I ask. She doesn't answer. Just takes a step forward. I'll need access to inspect for violations. I block the doorway. You're not stepping foot in my house. Her eyes narrow, but her tone stays syrupy. We just want to ensure everyone in our neighborhood maintains property value. I didn't move out here to be part of any neighborhood, I mutter. He hears that. The mask slips. Well, we don't want the area to decline, she says, voice dipped in something sour. Her gaze sweeps over me, pausing just long enough to feel insulting. This is a family-friendly community. We have standards. She doesn't say it, but it's there, in the way she tightens her grip on the clipboard, in the way her eyes flicker over my skin, my jeans, the chipped paint behind me. But alone. Not what she pictured, owning 18 acres on her side of town. I shut the door in her face. That night I spot tire tracks across the front yard. Deep grooves in the dust where someone circled around the house. No knock. No note. Just intrusion. I install cameras the next morning. By the third day I catch her on video. Carol walking the perimeter of my land, talking into her phone like it's a stakeout. She doesn't step over the fence, but she hovers. Watching. Cataloging. I call the sheriff's department. They send a deputy who half listens and leaves me with a weak smile. Just some HOA stuff, sounds like. Nothing criminal. You don't think it's harassment? I ask. He shrugs. They're just trying to keep things tidy. You know how HOAs are. I know exactly how they are. And I know how they see me. Not a landowner. Not a neighbor. A problem. Something about Carol's eyes stays with me, like she's not just enforcing rules. She's protecting something. And I'm not part of it. I file a cease and desist. Typed it myself. Dropped it off at the HOA office down in town. An ugly little beige building next to a frozen yogurt shop. I asked the clerk to timestamp my delivery. She hesitated, then did it with a bored nod. The letter was clear. Any further trespassing will be treated as harassment. You are not legally entitled to impose HOA regulations on my property. Cease all contact immediately. I walk out feeling like I've taken control. That feeling lasts less than a day. The next morning, a white envelope is duct taped to my mailbox. Violation notice. Unapproved livestock structure. Immediate removal required. Bold red font. No signature. I stare at it in disbelief. They're talking about the chicken coop I've been building. My coop on my land. There's no HOA jurisdiction here. None. I dig back into the title documents, zoning maps and parcel surveys. Everything backs me up. But when I call Carol's office and demand an explanation, I'm transferred to a new voice. Some smug lawyer named Scott Albrecht. We operate under an extended charter, he says smoothly. The Canyon Ridge development plan includes all land within a 3-mile easement. It was approved in a closed-door session last year. I blink. That wasn't disclosed in my purchase. Well, unfortunately, that's between you and your realtor. So now you're rewriting property boundaries and imposing bylaws I never agreed to? We're simply enforcing standards. If you'd like to schedule a compliance hearing, we can. I hang up. The next day, 2 men in orange vests arrive unannounced. One has a clipboard. The other has a camera. They step over my gate like it's invisible. Start walking around my coop, measuring things, snapping photos. I come out swinging verbally. You're trespassing. Get off my land. Clipboard guy smirks. You've been served a violation. We're within our right to assess. No, you're not. This is private property. Camera guy mumbles. This one's got an attitude. This one. I repeat. I take a step closer. Say that again. He backs off. Clipboard guy raises his hands. Sir, we're just here to do a job. Don't make this hostile. I call the sheriff. This time Deputy Reynolds shows up. Older, white, slower. He talks to the HOA guys for 15 minutes before coming over to me. They say you're part of the extended community overlay. They claim they sent documentation. They didn't. And even if they had, it wouldn't be legally binding without my consent. Reynolds scratches his neck. Look, I'm not a zoning expert. But they're not physically damaging anything. Maybe let it play out. I'm being harassed. Targeted. He gives me that same smile I've seen 100 times. Measured. Dismissive. Just keep your cool, Mr. Reed. You don't want to escalate things. I don't want to escalate. But they already have. So I dig deeper. I drive 2 towns over and pull property records from the county assessor's office. No HOA liens. No annexation notices. No community overlay tied to my parcel. I print it all out, every stamped page. Then I visit the black business owner down the road, Clarence, who runs a feed store and has lived in the area for 30 years. He leans back in his chair, rubbing his jaw. Canyon Ridge, huh? Yeah, they've been creeping this way for years. Bought up land cheap, then started folding people into the HOA without their say. They've done this before? He nods. Only to folks they think won't fight back. Especially us. They pressure fine and wear you down till you sell. Then they flip the land to a developer. And no one stops them? He shrugs. A few tried. One family sued. Got buried in paperwork and court fees. Most just move. That night, I sit on my porch with my dog, Zeus, watching headlights creep down the dirt road again. Same Tesla. Carol's inside, I know it. Slow roll past my gate like she's marking territory. I record the entire thing. I upload the property records, zoning docs and video footage onto a USB and send it certified to a civil rights lawyer I found in Phoenix, Tasha Ahmed. She's made headlines before for taking on homeowner associations and winning big. 2 days later she calls. I've seen this before, she says. They're bluffing. And they're illegally harassing you. I finally exhale. But just as I start to feel hope crack through the anxiety, another letter arrives. Final notice of legal action. You are in violation of Article 12. Unsanctioned agricultural use. Fines exceeding $14,000 pending. They're not backing down. They're doubling down. And they're about to find out, they picked the wrong man to push off his own land. It's Saturday morning when the convoy arrives. 3 SUVs roll up the dusty drive like they own the place. Black-tinted windows, polished grills gleaming under the Arizona sun. Dust plumes behind them like a storm. I'm already waiting on the porch. Zeus growls low from beside me, sensing what I do. This isn't a visit. Carol Whitmore steps out first, dressed in a power suit that clashes violently with the land around her. She's flanked by the same 2 goons from earlier, clipboard and camera, and a younger man in a navy blue blazer, hair slicked back, holding a leather-bound folder like it's the final word. Carol smiles like she's already won. Mr. Reed, she calls sweetly, we gave you every opportunity to comply. You've left us no choice. I don't answer. I just sip my coffee and watch. She struts forward, heels sinking slightly into the dirt, but she doesn't slow down. Behind her, the man in the blazer flips open the folder and clears his throat. As of today, under Canyon Ridge HOA enforcement bylaws, you are in violation of multiple infractions. Unauthorized livestock facilities, unapproved fencing, unpermitted land use. He keeps reading, but I stop listening. Carol steps beside him, hands clasped, chin high. We've filed for immediate injunction. If you refuse to comply, the county will seize your property and place it under receivership. You'll be liable for all legal costs and fines. I suggest you pack up before things get ugly. There it is. The threat. The smirk. The gleam in her eyes that says you don't belong here and never did. Let me get this straight, I say slowly, standing. You think you can walk onto my land and scare me off with paperwork? It's not a threat, she says with a chuckle. It's a fact. You're out of compliance. You've resisted every peaceful option. You're making this harder than it needs to be. She gestures around, at the pasture I cleared, the barn I rebuilt, the coop I hand-nailed piece by piece. This isn't a farm. It's a mess. You mean it's not a golf course, I reply. Not white enough for the brochure? Her smile falters. You're twisting this into something it's not. I nod slowly. Let me show you something. I reach behind the door and pull out a manila envelope. Inside, copies of the property records, zoning documents, video footage and legal filings from my attorney. I hand them to the man in the blazer. He frowns as he reads. Carol peers over his shoulder, her face slowly draining of color. That can't be right, she mutters. It's all there, I say calmly. My property lies outside your HOA jurisdiction. No annexation, no overlays, no legal claim. The charter you're citing? Invalid here. The bylaws? Not binding. I step forward, low and steady. You've trespassed, harassed, and threatened me. And now, with this letter, I hold up the latest notice. You've crossed into legal retaliation. Blazer guy closes the folder like it's hot to the touch. We need to speak to our counsel. Oh, I already did. I lift my phone and tap play. A recorded call, Carol's voice from 2 weeks ago telling me, we don't want the area to decline. This is a family-friendly community. We have standards. I tap again. A new voice, Deputy Reynolds. Just don't escalate things, Mr. Reed. Final tap. Tasha Ahmed, my attorney, crystal clear. This is illegal harassment. We're filing suit on Monday. And we'll go public. Carol's hands shake now. Her smile is gone. You recorded me? You trespassed on my land. Arizona's a one-party consent state. You didn't ask permission, neither did I. For a long beat no one speaks. Then Carol explodes. You think this'll stop us? You think one lawyer is going to scare the entire board? We built this community. No, I say, voice hardening. You built walls. I'm tearing them down. Zeus barks sharply, punctuating the silence. The man in the blazer grabs Carol's arm. We should go. But we need to leave. Now. She's dragged back toward the SUV like a child pulled from a tantrum. Her shoes kick up dirt, but she's not in control anymore. Not today. I watch them retreat. No yelling. No threats. Just silence. I stare after them until their vehicles disappear in a plume of dust. They thought they could break me. They forgot one thing. I didn't come out here to join their community. I came out here to own my peace. And I'm not leaving. Monday morning hits like a thunderclap. By 9 a.m. the lawsuit goes public. Tasha does exactly what she promised. Drops the full civil complaint on her firm's site, tags every local outlet, and sends press releases to regional news stations. But she doesn't stop there. She releases the video evidence. The footage from my trail cams, silent, irrefutable, shows Carol Whitmore and her goons trespassing on my land multiple times. One clip even catches her snapping photos of my chicken coop under moonlight, whispering, "We'll get him out of here. One way or another." Another shows the SUV pulling up with no warrant, no permission, nothing but nerve. And then there's the audio. Her voice. Crystal clear. This place is going to rot unless we clean out the people who don't fit. You know what I mean. That one hits like a bomb. Within hours, the videos go viral on Facebook and X. Caption reads, "Black homeowner targeted by HOA in illegal land grab." Listen to what Carol Whitmore says behind closed doors. The comments pour in like floodwater. "This is disgusting. Sue them into the ground." So this is what community standards really means? Racists always think the law won't catch up. By noon, the HOA's phones are ringing off the hook. People are resigning. Carol's assistant, the one who time-stamped my cease and desist, leaks screenshots of internal messages. They're damning. Let's make it uncomfortable enough that he gives up. Use fines. Stack them. Don't let him think he has a place here. It's not just misconduct. It's conspiracy. Carol tries to post a statement online. A desperate, rambling note about community preservation and misunderstandings taken out of context. But the comments rip her apart. Sponsors of the Canyon Ridge newsletter pull their funding. A local real estate company severs ties. Then comes the press. Channel 8 News parks a van at the HOA's headquarters. A reporter knocks on Carol's door, catching her flustered in a robe, face pale, refusing to comment. The clip airs that night with the anchor saying, "When confronted about racial targeting and trespassing allegations, HOA President Carol Whitmore declined to answer." The next day, Deputy Reynolds shows up at her house. Not mine. Turns out, Tasha sent the evidence to the county attorney. And under Arizona law, willful trespassing, harassment, and abuse of power, especially when racially motivated, can trigger criminal charges. Carol is served a notice of investigation. He tries to spin it. She blames her board. Says she was unaware of certain documents. Claims I doctored the recordings. But it's too late. The storm's already here. And then, the final twist. Clarence, the feed store owner, reaches out. Says a few years back he recorded a similar encounter with Carol and never released it. She threatened to fine him for keeping a broken tractor out front. Called it visual pollution. In the recording she says, "You people just don't care about appearances, do you? You people." 2 words. All the proof we need of a pattern. Clarence sends it to Tasha. She smiles and files a class action. It's no longer just my fight. 3 other black homeowners, 1 who already sold and 2 still under pressure, join the suit. Each has a story. Each has receipts. And the media? They eat it up. HOA racism scandal expands. New victims come forward. Whistleblower reveals systemic targeting in Canyon Ridge. Attorney General opens civil rights probe into local HOA. By Friday, the county posts official zoning maps online, confirming once and for all that my land was never under HOA control. The community overlay, Carol cited, never filed. Entirely fabricated. Fraud. Why? And now, a legal liability. At an emergency meeting, streamed live by a local reporter from outside, the HOA board votes to remove Carol as president. She leaves through a side door, sunglasses on, head down, to a chorus of shouted questions. Someone yells, "Why don't you move out?" She doesn't answer. That night I get an email from the sheriff's office. "Mr. Reed, we are formally closing the complaint against you. No violations found. Your property stands as legally exempt from HOA authority." I read it twice. Then I forward it to Tasha with one line. "Let's finish this." Because now the tables have turned. Carol's scrambling to protect herself. Her lawyer quits after she tries to blame him for bad advice. Her Facebook is deleted. Neighbors, those who used to wave when I drove by and then looked away when trouble started, now send me emails. Some apologize. Some ask how they can help. One white couple leaves a pie on my porch with a handwritten note. "We didn't know. We're sorry. You deserve better." I leave it there. Because this wasn't about pie. It was about the soil. The silence. The power people think they have until they're challenged by truth. They thought I'd be an easy mark. But I had time. I had evidence. And most importantly, I had nothing to lose. Now Carol's name is in every headline. Mine's on the deed. Right where it belongs. I'm in town grabbing feed when I see her again. Carol Whitmore. Sitting in the back of a county police cruiser, hands cuffed behind her back. Her once perfect bob now tangled, her expression caught somewhere between disbelief and fury. A deputy shuts the door gently, like he's dealt with her kind before. The moment doesn't feel real. Feels right. Turns out the civil suit was just the beginning. The county filed criminal charges: trespassing, falsifying public documents, racial harassment. The state's attorney general launched an investigation into HOA misconduct. And when auditors pulled the HOA's books, they found missing funds, tens of thousands, diverted under Carol's watch. Now she's facing more than just public shame. She's facing prison. And I finally sleep through the night. No trucks idling outside my gate. No fake violations nailed to my fence. No meetings full of stares and coded language. Just the sound of the wind across open land. And Zeus snoring under the porch swing. The lawsuits continue. Clarence and the others are pursuing full damages. And every day more residents come forward. People who kept quiet, who let it happen. Some write apologies. Some send letters. Some just nod as I pass, like they're finally seeing me and not the story Carol spun. At first I didn't know how to feel. Angry? Relieved? Exhausted? But as I walk the pasture now, sun breaking through the morning haze, I realize something. They didn't just try to take my land. They tried to erase my place in this world. But I'm still here. Every inch of this ranch, every nail, every fence post, every fruit tree growing stubborn in the dry earth, is mine. Not because I bought it, but because I fought for it. Tooth and nail. Day after damn day. The community begins to change too. The new interim HOA board releases a public apology, hosted a diversity town hall, awkward but sincere, and removed every illegal citation ever filed against me and others like me. They even donated to a local racial equity nonprofit. That's when I see something I never expected. My daughter Maya, home from college, walking the edge of the field, eyes wide with pride. "This place is beautiful, Dad," she says. "I get it now. Why you stayed." I nod, throat tight. It's not just about land. It's about being seen. Being respected. She smiles. "You made that happen." That night we sit under the stars. Zeus at our feet. A warm fire crackling in the barrel pit. The barn light flickering against the horizon. For the first time in a long time I'm not waiting for the next knock, the next threat. Peace. Earned. Not granted. And as coyotes howl in the distance, and the wind rustles the grass that refuses to quit growing, I lean back, close my eyes and breathe. Let them come again if they dare. Because this land knows me now. And I know what I'm worth.